do you discipline your children?
Not like that.
Not like that.
No. I have a funny story on that. Long time ago, Liam was acting up. It was the first time he talked back to me, and I told him, if you keep doing that, I'm gonna put you in the closet. And the closet was dark. He used to be scared of it. Well, he's still scared of it. So one day, he actually like was doing the same thing, talking back. I was like, all right, let's go to the closet. So I put him in there, but I emparejé la puerta nomás. And I stood out there, and then he immediately pulled it and walked out and was like crying, like, oh, why'd you do that, right? So I found out like a year later that he had told his teachers, like, oh yeah, my dad locks me in the closet. So I asked him now, I'm like, why did you say that? He's like, it seemed like a long time. I'm like, I just semi-closed the door and you immediately pulled it. He's like, yeah, I know, but it just felt like eternity. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, I could have been in jail or something. I try to talk to my kids. Well, with Liam, my 5-year-old, she understands certain things. My 3-year-old or 4-year-old now. But nah, physical, no.
Yeah, me neither. How do you feel about your parents having done that? Do you think that you'd be the person you are today, or do you think it would have been different had they spoken to you normally? Do you think you would have listened?
I don't know. That's hard to answer because I look at it now and I understand why they did that. That's how they were raised, and it just went on, and they never questioned anything their parents ever said. If I had a choice of like being born again and then having to choose, okay, your parents can hit you or not, I don't think I would change anything, honestly. I think some of it made me tough in certain situations, and I had a little bit of adversity because of that. And then growing up in Compton kind of just, allowed for that. But my kids now, they don't know adversity, And it's funny because that's what we strive for, right? We don't want our kids to go through anything, but then it kind of backfires a little bit.
Yeah.
What about you?
My oldest, I raise my voice and she cries like if I hit her, bro. And I sit down with her and I tell her like love, like I raise my voice, and that's the worst that it gets. My mom would discipline me harsher, and I didn't want that for you, so I don't hit you, right? And I raise my voice. And maybe you don't like that I raise my voice, but when you have children, maybe you'll find an easier way, a more calmer way of disciplining them so they can listen. Hopefully they'll listen to you.
It hasn't backfired? Because kids are smart, dude.
Yeah, they are.
And I'm pretty sure like she's like, okay, well, so if he's only going to raise his voice, let me steal that car.
No, thankfully she's not to that extreme. She has rebelled in ways that I don't like, but she's a great kid. She's doing great in school and everything. But sometimes though, like I think like if my mom would have if she would have just spoken to me, I think I would have been okay. But also I'm with you on that. Like I think it made me a little tougher, and like when kids at school would do something, take it out on me physically, I think I was tough, and I was sort of prepared for that,
Yeah, like pain threshold.
Yeah, engaged.
That's all you got,
bro. Bro, come on, my mama hits me harder, bro. I did my best to be as understanding as I could, bro. Growing up was tough with a stepdad that was also made things harder. But my mom had to sort of play both roles, the mom and the dad, for me. So she had to be a little extra harder on me. I think that's something kids today are missing, is empathy. Like, oh man, my dad, he works hard and he's doing all this stuff for me. I don't know, is it too much to ask that they should be a little bit more grateful that like, hey, like my dad doesn't hit me. He had it rough and he's doing what he can to make my life easier, and I shouldn't complain about the things that I perceive to be hard. And I'm not trying to downplay what she perceives to be hard, but in comparison,
I kind of had a similar conversation with my mom. I think I must have been like 10 or something. So she had this thing where, the garrafones de 5 galones.
Yeah.
So the store is like half a block away from my house, so she would make us go and fill that garrafon gallon by gallon, so we had to go like 5 times to fill it up. And I would tell her like, why do you do that? Why can't you just let us take the big jug? And she's like, oh no, es que tienes que aprender and all this stuff. And I'm like, why? And she was like, well, así me mandaban a mí al agua. Yo tenía que ir al agua a las 6 de la mañana. So, you do the same. And I'm like, well, why not like work smarter and just fill it up all at once? Dude, she was upset. But to what you said about being grateful, it's hard to be grateful for something that you have. Like when you don't see someone suffering. I don't know if you remember when we were kids, you see the commercial of like the little kid with the fly in its eye, and then you got to donate for whatever cause, and And so you're like, oh man, like, I lived in a garage. I slept on the floor for a number of years.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, it could get worse. So I try to be grateful, but kids now have everything, so they don't understand like suffering yet.
Yeah.
And when they do go, who knows if they'll understand it.